Greetings, truth seekers, and welcome back to the only news program brave enough to dissect the backstage dramas and the unscripted chaos that erupts when the cameras stop rolling. Tonight, we bring you an exclusive inside look at a late-night television feud that has escalated from a bizarre onstage exit to a full-blown comedic counter-offensive. Forget polite applause and manufactured smiles. We're diving deep into the savage satire and the pointed punchlines as one of television's most iconic institutions refuses to let a perceived slight go unpunished. Buckle up, because we are about to unravel the delicious drama surrounding country music, superstar Morgan Wallen's abrupt and frankly bewildering departure from the hallowed stage of Saturday Night Live, and the absolutely brilliant, no-holds-barred response from the show's cast and writers. What started as a head-scratching moment during the Goodnights has now morphed into a comedic goldmine, with SNL delivering not one but two scathing references to Wallen's hasty retreat in their very next episode. The gloves are off, the laughter is deafening, and we have all the juicy details. For those who missed the initial kerfuffle, let's rewind the tape. Just 1 week prior to this comedic retaliation, the internet was abuzz with the perplexing footage of Morgan Wallen's swift exit during the customary goodnight bows at the end of Saturday Night Live. As the credits rolled and the cast and host Mikey Madison stood arm in arm, exchanging pleasantries with the audience, Wallen offered a quick, almost perfunctory acknowledgement to Madison before turning sharply and walking off stage, disappearing behind the curtains and away from the cameras with surprising speed. The moment was odd, uncharacteristic of the usual warm and celebratory atmosphere of the show's closing moments. Speculation immediately ran rampant. Was there a backstage disagreement? Did Wallen have a pressing engagement? Was it a deliberate snub? The internet detectives were out in full force, dissecting every frame of the awkward exit for clues. Now, fast forward 1 week, and Saturday Night Live has delivered its answer. And it's a resounding one, served with a healthy dose of their signature sharp wit and satirical brilliance. They didn't just brush it under the rug. They seized the moment, transforming the awkward walk-off into prime comedic fodder, proving once again why SNL remains a cultural touchstone, unafraid to poke fun at the very celebrities who grace their stage. The first jab came during the ever-popular Weekend Update segment, helmed by the sardonic and effortlessly cool Colin Jost. In the midst of dissecting the nation's economic woes, specifically the turbulent state of the stock market in the wake of the current administration's tariff decisions, Jost, with his trademark deadpan delivery, managed to seamlessly weave in a brutal yet hilarious reference to Wallen's vanishing act. This was the worst week for the stock market since the summer of 2020, Jost began, setting the stage for his economic commentary. But you have to remember back then, the president was also Trump, he continued, a sly dig at the continuity of certain economic trends. Just in the past 2 days, investors have lost over $6 trillion. And then came the punchline, delivered with perfect comedic timing and a knowing glint in his eye. Money is leaving the stock market faster than Morgan. Wallen at Goodnights. The live audience erupted in laughter, a mixture of surprise and appreciation for the expertly crafted burn. Jost, ever the master of the awkward pause, held his gaze directly into the camera, letting the joke land with maximum impact. A silent acknowledgement of the ongoing saga and the show's willingness to address it head on. But the comedic assault didn't stop there. Earlier in the very same episode, SNL had already taken its first swing at Wallen's widely circulated social media response to the walk-off. Just hours after his hasty departure from Studio 8H, the country singer took to his Instagram stories to post a photo of a private jet accompanied by a caption that raised more than a few eyebrows. "Get me to God's country." This seemingly innocuous post did not go unnoticed, not by the eagle-eyed fans dissecting every aspect of the walk-off, and certainly not by the sharp-witted writers and performers at Saturday Night Live. A week later, it was clearly still fresh in their minds, a perfect target for their satirical arrows. In the show's cold open, the highly anticipated and often controversial segment that kicks off each episode, cast member James Austin Johnson, known for his uncanny impersonations, took on to hero of the current president. In character, Johnson's Trump was boasting about his latest tariff plan, delivering a stream of consciousness monologue filled with his signature blend of self-aggrandizement and bizarre tangents. I even put tariffs on an island uninhabited by humans. It's called Herder McDonald's Island, Johnson's Trump declared, launching into one of his characteristic non sequiturs. Then, his train of thought veered off in an entirely new and utterly ridiculous direction. McDonald's Island. I would love to visit there. Can you imagine that? Big Mac and a hula skirt. At this point, Johnson's Trump pulled out a mock-up of the imagined island, a bizarre visual gag featuring a Big Mac hamburger adorned with a hula skirt. Gazing at this absurd creation, Johnson's Trump delivered the punchline, directly referencing Wallen's Instagram caption, "Get me to God's country," right? The studio audience roared with laughter, immediately recognizing the pointed jab. Johnson, still in character, added with a knowing smirk, "Remember that? Wow!" The delivery was perfect, a subtle yet unmistakable wink at the audience, acknowledging the ongoing online conversation surrounding Wallen's exit and his subsequent social media post. So, what are we to make of this comedic barrage? Is it simply SNL having a bit of fun at the expense of a celebrity who provided them with some unexpected material? Or is there a deeper undercurrent of disapproval, a subtle message being sent about professional courtesy and the expectations of appearing on such a legendary platform? Interestingly, sources close to the situation have attempted to downplay the drama surrounding Wallen's walk-off. One insider reportedly told Entertainment Weekly that Wallen's exit, the way he entered and exited the studio all week during rehearsal and camera blocking, suggesting that his swift departure during the good nights was simply his routine and not intended as a snub to host Mikey Madison or the show itself. According to this source, Wallen simply said goodbye to Madison, with whom he had been standing before leaving the stage in his usual manner. However, this explanation seems to contradict the visual evidence. The footage of the good nights clearly shows Wallen turning away and walking off with a speed and abruptness that stood out from the casual interactions of the other cast members and the host. Whether it was his routine or not, the optics were undeniably awkward. Adding fuel to the fire, Morgan Wallen himself has yet to publicly comment on the incident. Instead, he appears to be capitalizing on it. Days after the controversy erupted, Wallen's official merchandise store began selling t-shirts and hats emblazoned with the very caption that SNL mocked in their cold open, "Get me to God's country." This move could be interpreted in several ways: a tongue-in-cheek acknowledgement of the drama, a defiant embrace of his perceived outsider status, or simply a savvy marketing strategy to capitalize on the heightened attention surrounding his name. Meanwhile, some members of the SNL cast have been less than subtle in their reactions. SNL writer Josh Patton, the day after Wallen's walk-off, posted a hilarious parody of the singer's Instagram story. Instead of a private jet, Patton's image featured a Krispy Kreme donuts delivery truck, complete with the now infamous "Get me to God's country" caption. This playful jab further amplified the comedic narrative surrounding the incident. And then there's the outspoken commentary from SNL veteran Kenan Thompson, a comedic institution in his own right. In an interview with Entertainment Weekly, Thompson didn't hold back his bewilderment at Wallen's behavior. "I don't know what goes through people's minds when they decide to do stuff like that. I don't know if he understood the assignment or not, or if he was really feeling a certain kind of way," Thompson admitted, clearly perplexed by their abrupt exit. Thompson went on to describe the usual atmosphere of the SNL good nights, emphasizing the standard practice of cast members and the host exchanging high fives and words of congratulations. You see somebody before you get a chance to say hi or say good job or anything like that. They just dip it. "I thought maybe he had to go to the party or something," Thompson quipped, injecting his signature humor into the situation. It's definitely a spike in the norm, Thompson added, underscoring the unusual nature of Wallen's departure. We're so used to everybody just turning around and high-fiving us. Everybody saying, good job, good job, good job. So when there's a departure from that, it's like, I wonder what that's about. Seems like a complicated individual, I guess. Thompson also directly addressed Wallen's God's Country Instagram post, expressing his skepticism and questioning the underlying message. The God's country of it all is strange because it's what are you trying to say, Thompson pondered? You trying to say that we are not in God's country? We're not all in God's country? We're not all under God's umbrella? That's not necessarily my favorite. Thompson's comments hint at a potential cultural or ideological clash, a sense that Wallen's sentiment might be perceived as exclusionary or judgmental by some. So what does all of this mean? Is this the beginning of a full-fledged celebrity feud? A minor dust-up blown out of proportion by social media and sensationalist news outlets, like this one perhaps? Or simply a case of a country music star with a different set of backstage etiquette encountering the established norms of a legendary comedy show? It's likely a combination of all of the above. Wallen's abrupt exit was undeniably unusual and created a moment of awkwardness that was ripe for comedic exploitation. Saturday Night Live, a show that thrives on topical humor and isn't afraid to bite the hand that feeds it, or at least appears on its stage, seized the opportunity to deliver some pointed satire. Wallen's subsequent merchandise release only added fuel to the fire, providing SNL with even more material to work with. The reactions from SNL cast and writers, particularly Thompson's candid remarks, suggest that there might be more to the story than just a simple misunderstanding. There seems to be a genuine sense of bemusement, perhaps even a touch of offense, at Wallen's behavior. The God's Country comment in particular struck a nerve with Thompson, hinting at a potential disconnect in values or perspectives. Ultimately, this saga serves as a fascinating glimpse into the delicate ecosystem of celebrity culture and the unwritten rules of live television. It highlights the power of comedy to dissect awkward moments and hold public figures accountable, even if the accountability comes in the form of a well-crafted joke on national television. And for us, the viewers, it's a reminder that even behind the glitz and glamour of Hollywood, there are real people with real reactions to perceived slights and unexpected behavior. This isn't just about a singer walking off stage. It's about the clash of personalities, the unspoken expectations of the entertainment industry, and the enduring power of a live comedy show to turn even the most awkward of moments into comedic gold. Will Wallen respond directly to SNL's comedic jabs? Will this feud escalate further? Only time will tell. But one thing is certain, Saturday Night Live has made it clear that they got the last laugh, at least for now. And in the world of late night television, that's a victory worth savoring. Hey, see that even besozen. Sequenced with a montage of the weekend update and cold open segments referencing Wallen, set to a playful, slightly mocking musical score. The presenter looks directly at the camera with a knowing smile and a raised eyebrow. And there you have it, truth seekers. Another backstage drama dissected, another celebrity moment turned into comedic fodder. It seems even in the realm of entertainment, some exits are more memorable and more mockable than others. Join us next time as we continue to bring you the inside scoop on all the celebrity shenanigans and the unscripted moments that keep the world talking. Until then, stay tuned, stay sharp, and remember, never walk off stage before the joke is over.